Hello, it's Tuesday. It's Twitch Tuesday. Welcome back, everyone. I am here. We are going to try to do, well, I did it last week and ended up doing the entire stream of tarot. So I'm going to do tarot first, and then we're going to do gameplay second. We'll see how that works out. Because I realized that as I kind of approached the end of the night, the time zone maybe wasn't the most conducive to everyone, and maybe it was a little bit too late. So I'm gonna mix it up, and we'll do tarot first, and we'll see what happens. And then if there's no interest, then we'll switch over to gameplay. Yeah, we'll see. But it's been a good 7 days. I was able to get some rest. It's been busy, but it's been a good 7 days. So I can't complain, you know? It's been hot. It's been crazy hot. So that's a thing. I have my big cup of water so I can hydrate because I am warm. So wherever it is, wherever you guys are, drink some water, hydrate, stay cool, be safe. So let me go ahead and switch over, just so we have it. I have them face up for some reason, so I'll make sure I shuffle these up again too. There we go. So I'll mix up. We'll mix these guys up a little bit. They shuffle really well, I'm starting to notice. Those are great. I love it. It's deck number 1. Uh-oh. Let's try again. There we go. Let's go one more. Oh, I missed. Messed up. And we'll call that number 2. I also realized I didn't turn that on. All right, let's fix that really quick. There we go. I forgot to pin it. And I forgot to turn on the bot too, so that wasn't gonna help. These are my least favorite to shuffle. Hello, Jay. How are you? Welcome in. Oh, these cards are so big. I can't. There we go. There we go. Let's get the setup here. So, there we go. Welcome. I don't know if you've ever had a tarot reading before. Oh.
Burrito067 just followed.
Thank you for the follow, Burrito. I don't know if small hands is quite accurate, but they are huge cards. Welcome in, Burrito. Thanks for the follow. So, Jay, great art, by the way. I've lurked in your channel a couple times. So I love the art. If you've never had a reading, I will totally go through everything kind of step by step for you. I have three decks that you can choose from. This is the Brit's Third Eye. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I gotta get my cards out. There we go. This is the Mystic Manga deck, number 2. You can see I'm a little bit biased because those are the ones that I'm holding in my hand right now. And then this is kind of the most eclectic of the bunch. This is the Tarot of Mystic Moments. Oh yeah, yeah. 3D printed. One of my side hobbies. So you get to choose what deck you want to get a reading from. And as I shuffle them up, you can type in if you have a question, or if you have a situation that you're looking for guidance with, or if you just kind of want a general reading, you can pop that into the chat as well. And then I always say you can tell me as much or as little as you like. I'm still figuring out a way to set up my Discord so that you can have like a private channel, a private question. Not quite there yet. Getting there, but not yet. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I always forget to do this. I always forget. Let's see here. Before I get started. Oh wait, that's not it. Hold on. I'm dumb. I did a dumb. Let's try that again. Maybe? No? Oh, there it is. Okay.
That's gonna be on everyone's thing, and then everyone's gonna get like, I don't know how many notifications there are gonna be, but there should be a lot. So it's probably better if I secretly just posted it without tagging people.
I love that it's just a random clip, so sorry if that was an embarrassing one for you. But Jay does art, so check him out. All right, let's see. Let me see here. My question, does guy like me? Just like that. Okay, so is that really your question? Well, let's find out. Oh my. Okay, that is... oh, I'm terrible at Roman numerals. You'd think I'd be better because I read these all the time. But then sometimes it's upside down. It's the seven of swords. Okay. And then, like I said, I'll explain each of the cards and then the position in the reading as well. And I do a 4-card reading. The 5 of swords. Interesting. Okay. The queen. Oh my. Okay. Queen of swords. We're sticking with the swords. I kind of get a theme here. And let's get our last card. One more, please. Yeah, okay. We're on a different route now. Two of Cups. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. All right, so like I said, I do a 4-card reading, and I'll explain kind of what each card in the spread is. The first card is going to represent kind of our here and now and kind of our almost immediate future, kind of the next steps. Maybe if you want to give it a timeline, maybe a few days or so, right? And that's going to be represented by the 7 of Swords. And the 7 of Swords is how do I explain this? 7 of Swords is a card of kind of letting your intentions be known. Maybe not necessarily of your own volition. Like maybe this person that you like, maybe they already have an idea that you like them, right? And even though you're not overtly showing it or saying it, they know outright. Like you've kind of played your cards already. So that's kind of where we are now. Maybe it's a little bit obvious to them. What's making this difficult is the second card, which is this one right here. It's our crossing card, and that's kind of your barrier to get over, right? So it's blocking our way, and that is the 5 of Swords. And the 5 of Swords represents kind of embarrassment, and maybe we how do I explain this card? So, okay, if we look at the card here, focus, there we go. We have one person who has 3 swords, 2 people in the background walking away if they've dropped their swords. So it's a card of victory, right? But then it's also a card that tells us, hey, maybe we've had to do things that we didn't intend to, or maybe things that we weren't quite sure that were the right thing to do. And that's what it means in the upright. You got yours in the reverse. So that's what I mean, kind of that embarrassment card, like, oh, we're gonna do something and we feel embarrassed that we're going to kind of pursue this course of action, right? And I have to back up a little bit because the suits themselves actually mean something. The suit of the swords represents our thoughts and our minds, right? So what this tells me is the 7 of Swords, like I said, is kind of that getting caught, kind of, you've played your cards, he already knows, they already know kind of your intentions, right? The suit of the swords means that this is also kind of in your head. Like, you don't know for sure, like nothing's really been said. You think that this is what's going on. The same thing can be said for the 5 of Swords, that maybe you're embarrassed of what is going to happen or the actions that you're going to take, and all of that is in your head, right? So you're kind of playing yourself here. This is the third card, and this is our overcoming card, right? So it goes over our blockage, and that's going to be the Queen of Swords. So again, sticking with the swords, the only thing that's going to get you out of your own head is your own head. Like it's just telling you, look, snap out of it. You're going to be fine. And only you can make that happen. The Queen of Swords is a card of meaningful criticism, tough love, protection. It's kind of that nourishing, motherly energy. So what it's telling you here is the only way you're going to get over kind of this blockage in your own head is be kind to yourself, but also be firm with yourself, right? You can't just let yourself go. You actually have to have some discipline when it comes to kind of reining in your thoughts and feelings. So that's what the Queen of Swords is. Be kind to yourself, but be firm. The end result here is the only card that is different in your entire reading, and that's the Two of Cups. The cups represents our heart and our emotions, and the two, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of an obvious card, right? It's the Two of Cups. It represents partnership and unity and connection. Which again is kind of an obvious reading for this. So the short answer to your question is, yeah. Does Guy like me? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. You're getting in your own head about this whole thing, right? You're worried about, am I going to look dumb, or am I going to embarrass myself? And all of that's in your head. Also, part of it here, like I said, is kind of that getting caught, coming clean energy of this Seven of Swords. They probably already have an idea that you like them, so it's really in your head that you're just getting in your own way. Good read. Oh well, there you go. See, so stop worrying about it, Jay. Like you're in your own head about this. So the answer is yeah. Like you're gonna be fine, and they're going to be fine with it too. Does that make sense to you? Does it resonate? Do you need any clarifiers? Any other questions regarding that? Oh, and forgive me, I do have to say that the rule of my stream is, as long as the queue is open, you can hop back in, you can ask another question, you can ask clarifiers. The only boundary to that I have is within the reading, it has to stay, the question has to stay within the reading, so I can't do back-to-back different readings, just to be fair in case there is a queue. In your case, you're the only one in there right now, so you can ask a different question entirely if you want, and I can do a different reading for you. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm glad that it resonates. I tell this to everyone. I hope that kind of what you gather from this reading, the advice that kind of the ether has given you, the energies have given you, I hope it helps you make right decisions moving forward, okay? Oh, I take these very seriously, Jay. No, I mean, you guys deserve it, right? You come to me, you come to my stream, you trust me with your questions. I only have to give you my best. And it's not a silly question. It really isn't. Like a love reading is super important. Like it matters of the heart are very important, and they're so individual, and they can make they can make or break our day essentially, and they can take us from good to great to exceptional. So no, there's no silly questions in this chat. Ask away, anything you want. Oh well, thank you for trusting me with your. Oh, I don't want to say it that way. No, that sounds wrong. You know what I mean. There's no good way to say this. I'm glad I was your first time. Don't clip that. And that's fine. No, that's absolutely fine. If anything else comes up, you have a different question, by all means, you're more than welcome. I welcome it. I think I mentioned it early in the stream. I usually split my stream up into two. I'll do tarot and then gameplay. I used to do gameplay and then tarot, but then staying so late was not great for my time zone. I also just realized something. I gotta mute that. I have Discord notifications going off, and I think it's feeding into my stream. So sorry about that. Oh, actually, I forgot. I gotta shuffle this again. Yeah, that was mine. So, you know. I told you, I'm pretty new to Discord, so I don't know how that stuff works. Shuffle that guy up. Perfect. And what I'll like to do sometimes too is if it starts to slow down, I like to just do a general reading. Sometimes I have people in the chat who just like to lurk. And even for the VOD, sometimes I'll just do a kind of a general reading out there for whoever needs to hear it at the time. Maybe they'll catch it in the future and it'll resonate with them. I try not to read for myself, but sometimes I do. Don't tell anyone. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I know what I want to do. I haven't taken these out in a while. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle these guys up too. I have one more. Let's see. There it is. Oh no, Jay! Dang it. Okay. Okay, now I'm trying to remember, how do I... This is something I've been trying to figure out because I don't get clipped too often, so how do I play the clip again? What's the chat command for that? Let me look it up. No, that's just chat out. Come on, Google AI. I remember reading it somewhere and I can't remember what it is. Yeah, there was a... Okay, I'll have to look it up again, but I thought there was a way that I could play the clip on stream. It's gotta be, right? Let's see here. Play clip on stream. Maybe? No? I'll figure it out. But that's gonna show up on my page now, so cool. Alright. What was I doing? Oh, I was dusting these guys off. So yes, I have a lot of tarot decks. This one is the Tarot of the Divine. These are inspired by folklore from around the world. I don't use these ones too often because you kind of have to know the stories to really understand the cards. Oh, look at that. I think everyone knows this one, right? Journey to the West. I forget which one this one is. This is... Oh, let's see here. Perfect. Thanks, Jay. I'm gonna start doing that. Let's see. I don't know half of these stories. I forget which one this one is. This is the Crane Wife? Hey, Crypto, welcome in. Just showing off the other decks that I have here. Alright, let me put these off to the side really quick. Off to the side. There we go. You're gonna lurk? Okay, well, thanks for the lurk. Thanks for stopping by. All right, Crypto, you're up. What deck would you like to use? They're all crooked. You're very welcome. Anytime. Crypto, you still there? There you are. Yeah, you're up. Which one would you like to use? Deck number 3. My least favorite one to shuffle. Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay, let's find out. There we go. Kind of. Wait a minute. Didn't we get this before last week? The Empress? I think we got the Emperor, actually. Hold on. Yeah, we got the Emperor. Okay. Major Arcana again. Okay. The Chariot in the reverse. Oh, the Emperor. There it is. 3 Major Arcana cards. Okay. And this is the female Emperor. Let's see. Let me read it again. There it is. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so crypto. Steven. What's going on with him, right? Okay. So we're gonna read kind of these as a mix together since we're doing an energy read for him. Major Arcana. So again, this definitely is very deep rooted in his psyche, right? This is just how he operates because this a major arcana card. There's not a lot of sway and movement. Very strong energies at play here, right? The Empress in the reverse represents kind of that anxiety and kind of lack of focus and concentration. So he's kind of got this wandering mind, right? And I think we know this about him, that he doesn't really focus on the important things that are in front of him. What's compounding that is the Chariot in the reverse, which is a lack of direction, lack of control, and stagnation. So not only is he kind of lost in his thoughts, but also just isn't going anywhere, right? He doesn't move forward, which again, I think we've established this about Steven, is that he, if given the opportunity, if given the chance, he will just kind of circle and just keep doing the same thing over and over again, right? And then of course we have the Emperor, the female Emperor, once again, which the same message here shows up from last week, right? That it's going to require a lot of direction from an outside force. So just like the Emperor here shows, she has her subjects, she's kind of stringing them along is the wrong term, but you know what I mean. She's guiding them towards the direction that she feels is right. Can we check how he is handling the divorce? Okay, let's see. So we're gonna put these ones off because these are kind of two different readings. And since there's no one in the queue, I think we're okay here. Seven of Swords. Interesting. Okay. Okay, weird. Oh, wow. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Two of Pentacles. One more. And we're going to end it with a Three of Wands. Okay. So, as far as the divorce, our hero now is represented by, well, I guess his hero now is separated, not separated, geez, is indicated by the Seven of Swords, and that is manipulation and trickery. So that means there's a lot of just kind of murkiness in his life right now, which makes sense for a divorce. There's just going to be a lot of manipulation, and people's expectations and energies are going to be very muddled. So that's kind of indicative of where he is right now, right? What's making that difficult is the Ace of Pentacles, which is that new opportunity, that newness. So it looks like through this murkiness, he is looking for a new opportunity, right? And that's making this whole situation even harder. The Two of Pentacles is our overcoming card. And in the reverse, that definitely oh, how come I can't speak today? That indicates a loss of, how do I explain this? Almost kind of a loss of balance. There's a lot going on, and the only way for him to kind of get over this is to just let go, right? Instead of trying to make a decision or this new situation, he has to let it play out, right? Don't, because the Two of Pentacles represents a choice, right? Kind of making a choice, balancing priorities. In the reverse, it says, don't make that decision. You don't have to make that decision now, right? Because there's so much going on here. There's so much going on here. He has to just let it go, which I think also factors into this reading, right? Because there's a lot of stagnation. He's not moving. He doesn't want to move forward, and part of it is because of this cycle that he's going through right now, right? If he is able to kind of get over the situation, we end up with the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is freedom and looking forward and kind of movement again, right? So just like it shows here, the person, they are kind of looking ahead. They have plans to, I don't know if you can see it from here, but she is holding a sailboat. She's ready to explore. So that's, once we're over the situation, I think this cycle of stagnation can break. He took some time off. He took some time off from work today, so I think he probably went to court. Oh. Six of Pentacles. Huh. Generosity, sharing. Interesting. Yeah, let's see here. I'm trying to figure out how this plays into the situation here, because that one fell out. Six of Pentacles. Charity, generosity, sharing. Oh! Oh. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Generosity, sharing, it's the giving, right? It's the sharing of thoughts, feelings, ideas. So if that were the case, and he did go to court, there was just a lot of, yeah, exactly. Which again feeds into this whole not wanting to move forward because of all these competing priorities. So let's see if he misses you. Oh wow, that one just straight up fell out. Okay. The Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is, well, a cup, the cup, wow, the card of, a card of emotion, of course, and that represents kind of emotional stability. It means that they're kind of in a good place emotionally. So what that tells me is he doesn't necessarily like miss you, because missing you implies kind of a almost a suffering, right? That the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Cups doesn't give me. It's not a suffering card. Like I said, it's that kind of, they're good emotionally. Yes, fond thoughts. So that's what I'm reading out of this, because it's that feeling of attainment, right? That they feel good about their thoughts and feelings. So yeah, not necessarily missing, but I think they feel comfortable with that situation with you. I really need to put like a diffuser here, because that's a really sharp line for my light here. Is he lurking at work? Checking my online stuff. Okay, hold on. I gotta clear this out first. Because this is a different. We've gone to a different tangent now. Okay, let's see. Another 9. Huh. Okay. 9 of Pentacles this time. Five of Wands. The Ace of Wands. Okay, interesting mix of cards. Okay, so let's read these together again since we're doing an energy read for him, for this situation. Actually, let me pull this really quick. Get my cable. I forgot to charge my headset, so I have to plug it in. Okay. So we'll leave, well, like I said, we're going to read these together as an energy read for Stephen at work. The Nine of Pentacles in this situation represents kind of self-discipline and enjoying kind of the fruits of his labor. So at work, that seems like that is he's more focused on work. That's what that's giving me, right? The Five of Wands in the reverse is avoiding conflict and compromise. So it sounds like from these two cards, he is more focused on work when he's at work right now because he wants to kind of avoid any conflict, maybe too strong of a term, but kind of uneasiness or uneasy energies that may come up from an interaction, right? Especially since we saw that last reading, there's a lot that's going on. A lot going on with him right now. And then the Ace of Wands represents a creation, new beginnings. It's an ace, of course, right? So what this is telling me is right now he is focused on work, trying to avoid kind of any unfamiliar or uncomfortable situations, and then just kind of biding his time for that new beginning, right? That Ace of Wands to kind of to pop up in his life. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, so whatever's going on with him right now is definitely just kind of biding his time, just trying to stay comfortable, you know? Kind of avoiding conflict. Yeah. So based on how many did we have? We had like 12, 13 cards. Really in-depth reading for a bunch of different things here. It sounds like he's going through a lot, right? He's going through a lot of kind of mental stress, a lot of mental issues that he's dealing with right now. Can we check if he is talking about me to his friend Sean? Yeah, let's see here. You want to keep using the same deck? Deck 2? Okay. All right, let's see what's going on. The six of cups. Queen of Wands, interesting. Okay. And the Three of Coins. Okay. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Okay. So, kind of, again, reading them all together as an energy read. The Six of Cups in the reverse represents kind of that moving forward, leaving the past behind. That's the energy that I get from the Six of Cups. And we're going to combine that with the Queen of Wands, which is optimism and joy. So it does look like he's looking forward to moving forward, right? He's looking forward to what the future has in store. And the Three of Pentacles represents, again, that collaboration and teamwork. So it does sound like... What was that? I just saw something flash on my my chat here. Okay. Thanks, Saribot. Okay, so what this is sounding like is that when he does have those conversations, this does revolve around kind of what the future has in store. He's happy about the next steps forward. And based on previous reads that we've had before, it sounds like you are in those conversations. So the answer is yes. He does talk to Sean. When he does talk to Sean, you come up in those conversations. Okay. Does that make sense? I know we had, was it like 15 card reading, essentially? A few different questions. So does that all kind of mesh together? Does it make sense? Oh, hold on. There's another question here I just saw. Are the conversations positive or negative? Oh, okay. Let's find out. A King of Cups. So it's more on the positive side, because that King of Cups represents kind of that balance and generosity. So it's more definitely on the positive side. But it also tells me that these are very thought out conversations. So it's not just kind of they're not just talking to talk. They're very well thought out conversations when it comes to the subject matter, because it sounds like there's a lot that's going on. So a lot of this has to do with advice and kind of next steps. Absolutely, you're very welcome anytime. I have to keep tabs on the time here because I'm doing it backwards now. I'm doing readings first and then gameplay second. So Have to make sure I don't go too crazy. That's it for Steven. For this week. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying out tarot first because it seems like you and some other people definitely kind of benefit from the earlier time for reading. So that's where we're at. I think I'm gonna try to keep it like this because there's been a good reception to it. It's high demand. Yeah, and that's why I moved it to the beginning. I mean, what was it last week? Oh, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, last week I intended to do tarot for the first half and then gameplay second, and I just did tarot for 4 hours straight. I was exhausted, but I wanted to make sure I could do that for you guys. You're very welcome, Crypto. Anytime. You're always welcome in my chat here. Oh, that's right. That's what I was doing. I was dusting off my my other decks. Gotta put this one back. That's my Tarot of the Divine, inspired by classic folklore around the world. Like I said, I don't use it too often because you kind of have to know the stories to understand the imagery. But I have it, and it's super nice. I love the art. I don't have enough space. Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't use this one too often because it changes the suits. Like, this is the Queen of Needles. And I can't remember which ones are which. Hello, how are you? I'm gonna try deleted. What? Deleted account? Is that what it is? I think that's an ACCN account, I think. How are you? Yeah, see, they changed the suit. So this is the Page of Needles, Presents, Potions, and I can't remember what the last one was. Candles. So I'm going to guess this is Wands, Swords, Cups, and then Potions is... Oh, how come I can't remember what it is? Candles, Presents, Needles, Potions. Geez, what are those? Wands, Cups, Swords, Pentacles. Oh, I think Presents is Pentacles. See, this is why I don't use this deck, because they changed the suits, and I don't know what those are. But, I mean, got Nightmare Before Christmas art, so that's fun. Of course, Oogie Boogie would be the devil. Come on. Then I have Hocus Pocus. This one's a newer one. And I think they did the same thing, where they changed the suits again. That's why I don't use them too often. Lightning. potions, candles, and pumpkins. What am I supposed to do with that? I don't know what those are. But there is all manner of hocus pocus art in here, so if you like hocus pocus, look at Zachary Binks. Transformation. Transformation? 13. Oh, death. Weird. Okay. See, they even changed the major arcana. Ace of Pumpkins. Judgment. So yeah, that's why I have them, but I don't use them too often because I have to rewire like the way I think and how I read my cards. But I have them. Maybe for October I'll bust these out. And then Disney villains. These ones are one of my favorites. So these ones, they kept the suits. Cups, coins, swords. Where's the last one? Wands. And it's all Disney villains. It's Hades. Which is ironic that he's not the devil. World. Who's the devil in this one then? High Priestess, the Hierophant. Hello! Hello, welcome! How do I say your name? Ioni? Is that right? Okay, what was I looking for? Oh yeah, I was looking for the devil. Oh, it's Kronk. Look at that. That makes sense for the fool. The moon. Yzma. Who's the devil in this deck? True love. Oh, the lovers. Okay. Temperance. The Empress. The Hermit. The devil. Oh, it's Chernobog. Okay, well that makes sense. Oh yeah, the Zootopia is, I love this one. Yeah. It's one of my favorites. I love these ones, but they are a little bit silly in personality because they are Disney villains. That's why I don't use them as much either. Now that you guys know that they exist, you can request them if you really want. But Ioni, you are in the queue, and you get to choose what deck you want to use. These are my 3 regular decks. Brit's Third Eye, the Mystic Manga deck, which, spoilers, is right now my personal favorite because that's what I'm holding in my model hand. And then Tarot of the Divine. Or no, forgive me, Tarot of Mystic Moments. You never expect that villain in Zootopia. Yeah, when I watched it for the first time, it was a it actually surprised me for a kid's movie. Like, I didn't really see the twist coming. Oh, I like the manga deck. Oh, you want to go with number 2? Sure. All right, and while I'm shuffling, oh man, while I'm shuffling, you can go ahead and pop in whatever your question is if you have one. If you're just looking for a general reading, you can pop that in the chat as well. I wanted to ask any advice on how to go about a connection with someone I'm seeing whose initials are BR. Okay, let's find out. Whoa. All right, so we're gonna start off with the Eight of Wands. So I do, since I think it's your first time here, at least first time chatting. I do a 4-card reading, and I will go over what each of the cards means.
Yanni just followed.
Oh, thank you for the follow. And we are being crossed by the Sun, which is concerning. It's a major arcana card. Geez, I'd love to get a new tarot deck soon, but I've been... Oh, I love the Light Seers. I don't have it myself, but I've seen the Light Seers deck. And I love the way it looks. 8 of Pentacles is going to be our overcoming card. Ooh, my. 10 of Swords. Okay. Not 10 of Swords, forgive me. 9 of Swords. Okay. I love decks that are more artsy. Yeah, no, I feel you. You might like deck number 3. I'll show you after the reading. Okay. So, like I said, I do a 4-card spread. Card number 1 is going to represent kind of our here and now and kind of immediate next steps. Card number 2 is our crossing card, and that's what's making the situation difficult. Card number 3 is our overcoming card. It's advice on what we need to do to overcome this blockage. And then number 4 is kind of our immediate future. So our here and now is going to be represented by the 8 of Wands in the reverse. And the 8 of Wands in the reverse is kind of like slowdowns and bad timing, and just waiting. So there's a lot of just I don't want to say what is the word I'm looking for? There's just a lot of kind of muck, like energy muck that you have to kind of sift through, right? It's never the right time to connect. It's never the right time to talk to them. And there's just always something blocking our way. There's always something a little inconvenient about trying to move forward, right? So that's what that is telling me right now. What's making that difficult is the Sun, which I said, again, is an interesting card that is blocking us because A, it's a major arcana, which is a powerful energy. But the Sun is generally a positive card, so that's why it's interesting that it's blocking us. The Sun represents kind of that joy and success and positivity and celebration. So what that tells me is that there is a lot of good that is happening around you and BR right now, right? And I think maybe part of that is maybe we don't want to maybe we're afraid that by pursuing a deeper connection that we shatter kind of this happiness, right? And I think it's that fear of losing the Sun is kind of what that represents here. How we get over kind of this blockage, as interesting as it is to say that the Sun is what's getting in our way, is the 8 of Pentacles. So we go from an 8 of Wands, our spirit and our passion, and the 8 of Pentacles is kind of the material world, right? Also in the reverse. So we have to kind of transform this slow energy, this bad timing. We have to transform it into the eight. Oh, wow, geez, 8 of Pentacles energy, which is, I don't want to say it this way. It's going to sound bad when I say it, but in the upright, the 8 of Pentacles is craftsmanship, right, and passion, and having high standards. In the reverse, I don't mean say have low standards, right? Like just don't care. That's not at all what I mean. But I think it also means we have to set our expectations accurately. Because if we're afraid that we're going to lose this, right? If we're going to lose the sun, we have to set our expectations appropriately in that, you know what? Maybe losing bits and pieces of the sun isn't all that bad, or maybe we're just afraid that we're going to lose the sun. Maybe that's not actually the case, right? We have to reset our thinking of what this situation actually means. That's what that 8 of Pentacles means. We transform our hesitation into, you know what? This is going to be okay, right? We have to, again, reset our expectations. This is going to be our end result, kind of our immediate future card, and that's the 9 of Swords in the reverse. The 9 of Swords, when it came up, scared me a little bit because the 9 of Swords is a powerfully heavy card. In the reverse, it means recovery and hope and kind of moving forward, right? So what that tells me is, yes, there may be that fear of kind of losing the sun, right? That's actually pretty ironic too, because I was told by him that he knows it's better to stick me into the friend zone. So that's probably why I'm losing. Oh, yes. Okay. Then yes, that makes sense. That's Okay, yes. So then definitely this this rings with kind of that resetting of expectations, right? Where was I? Oh yes, the 9 of Swords represents kind of that recovery and hope. So the pain and trauma that we experience here, right? This tells us that we are going to be able to get over that, and we're going to move forward from it, and we're going to recover, and we're going to have hope, and things are going to get better. So there is going to be a little bit of a slump as we get over this situation, but things are going to get better. Does that make sense? I've also made it a thing to always be as clear as possible with these types of things too. Separate from tarot, 100%. 100%, that's what you have to do. Just on a personal note, I 100% agree. But I guess it's been heavy on my mind since I have no idea his answer either right now. Okay. Okay, no, I feel you. But what you have to, your takeaway from this is maybe things are going to sting a little bit, right? But there is that road to recovery. This, like I said, looks scary because it's the 9 of Swords, but in the reverse, it means that those things, right? These swords that keep us up at night, the things that hover over us, those are going to be a thing of the past. We won't have to worry about those moving forward. So the prognosis is good for your future, especially with BR, okay? Good, I'm glad it makes sense. I tell this to everyone. I hope that, honestly, the 9 of Swords jump scare, yes. I saw it come, I was like, uh-oh. But in the reverse, we're good. We're good. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I tell this to everyone. I hope this gives you some insight as to what you need to do so you can kind of move forward in this this story, this journey that you're taking, okay? Thank you for letting me read for you. I appreciate it. You're very welcome. No, and honestly, that's why I like, this is one of my favorite decks. I like the art, of course, but this deck generally doesn't play around with its answers too much, so... But yes, I remember I said I was going to show these ones to you. This is, I don't know if it would be considered artsy by your standards, but this is definitely the more eclectic deck that I have. Very different from the other two. This is the Tarot of Mystic Moments. Like very like dream-like kind of art. You know, and I love the imagery with this deck. No. Yeah, like it's this weird kind of neo nostalgia because it's very obviously new art and like done in a new style, but it has this very classic like costuming and set pieces and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I love it. It's this weird juxtaposition of imagery that I love about this, and it's this one here, the Tarot of Mystic Moments. And I think they have a companion Oracle deck. So if you read Oracle, they have a companion to that as well. Betty, I thank you again for stopping by. Yeah, I don't have any Oracle cards myself. I've been wanting to, because I feel like that just gives a whole different depth of reading, and I'd love to incorporate those into my streams. Deleted, are you talking to me? My username or Ioni's? I wish I had a good story for this, but Soren definitely came from that feeling of freedom when you're Soren, right? When you're flying. So it came from that desire to have freedom. And then Arcanus, my last name, came from my love of tarot, because each of the two halves of the deck, the major arcana and the minor arcana. So together it is kind of the freedom through tarot. Does that make sense? Do you have any other... Oh, thank you, Deleted. Do you have any other new spreads as well? I've always stuck to the standard 3 card, but I feel like with more cards I could get more in depth too. Yes. So that's part of the reason why I started doing the 4 card spread, because the 3 card was just a little bit too... what's the word I'm looking for? Just a little bit too restrictive. So I don't know if I invented, quote unquote, the 4 cards, this particular 4 card spread, but that's the one I use now. And then for I was gonna say, for my longer reads, the Celtic Cross is my go-to. And no, you're 100% right. The Celtic Cross has so much information. It like my general Celtic Cross reading can be like 30 to 45 minutes. But oftentimes I also can't connect to the cards, and that is the downfall of kind of the Celtic Cross, is that it throws so much at you that you start to kind of lose that thread that it's trying to tell you. What I started to do as well is, when I start to kind of feel that strain from doing a lot of readings, but I still want to get a little bit more in depth, I'll do the Cross of Truth instead of the Celtic Cross. Like, I'll move from judgment into justice into the world. No, I feel you. But yeah, so the Cross of Truth, I find, gives me, it's like this healthy middle ground between just a regular 3 card and a Celtic Cross. The Cross of Truth is 5 cards. And the center card is going to be... Wait, didn't we just get that? The 8 of Wands? The center card is our center, right? This is what... Is it possible to use that, like, to read romantic relationships as well? Like the Cross of Truth? Yeah. A lot of the spreads that I use are multi-use kind of general spreads, because I feel that there's a lot that I can glean from that kind of spread. But yeah, so this is our center. This is the lens at which we will view the situation, right? This is the center of our query. I'm running out of space. There we go. Let's see here. I've been trying to read for my friends, and I've seen a few spreads, like the 7-card spread, but again, it's just information overload. I think maybe the Cross of Truth might be a good one to explore, because yeah, Celtic Cross a lot, 3 cards maybe not enough. This 5 cards I think is a good middle ground, and it still gives us some insight, right? So that's, like I said, this is going to be our situation. This is our immediate past. Which I think is obvious what that means. This is going to be our root. So this is what's pushing the situation to light, right? These are the things that are under the surface that we need to cast an eye to. This is our immediate future. Again, which I think is kind of self-explanatory as far as what that means. And then the top card is going to be kind of a overarching lesson or advice for this whole situation. So the Knight of Swords, in this case. So, for example, right, we're going to read it for practice. So the 8 of Wands, this is, like I said, the center of our situation. This is going to be... I totally pulled this card for another reading, but it's kind of that bad timing, slowing down. This was your reading. Hold on. Okay, so maybe this is connected to you. So we're gonna talk about this slowdown, right? Our immediate past is gonna be the King of Wands. So as you can see, we're sticking with the theme of the wand. So this is still slowing down in our passion and our spirit, right? The things that make our soul soar. That's what I like to call the wands. The King of Wands is honesty and flexibility. So that means there was a time, which I think you mentioned, like BR said, "Hey, you know what? I'm feel more comfortable friend zoning you." I'm paraphrasing, but there was that sense of very decisive honesty that led us into kind of this stagnation, right? I was just about to ask if you had some time if you could do a romance spread for me. And BR, since I generally don't read for myself, and I've had such a pain trying to do a Celtic cross on myself too. Sure, we'll keep on going here. So yeah, our immediate fast, that King of Wands, like I said, that kind of that decisive honesty, kind of put a damper on what we're looking at here, right? This is, like I said, our root, and this is what's pushing from beneath the surface, and that's again the Knight of Wands. So we're sticking with this Wands. There's a lot of spirit and passion, energy that's flowing in this situation. Not romantic energy, because I don't see any cups, but there's a lot of just passionate energy. The Knight of Wands represents action, right? And maybe not recklessness, but it definitely means almost kind of like a desire to move forward and act even in the face of uncertainty. And that's what's pushing the situation to a head, right? Is that we had a interesting past, right? We had a situation in the past where it caused us to kind of slow down our thinking and actions, but underneath the surface we have this desire to kind of move forward and go, and that's what's making what's kind of pushing this situation forward, right? And that's how you can imagine this bottom card, is that it's pushing the situation. Now how it pushes is up to you, right? And that's why you have to know what this card is. That's what the importance of this card is. Our overarching our immediate future is Temperance in the reverse. And Temperance in the reverse are extremes, and it's, going from one side to the other. It's conflict, it's frustration. So what that tells me is, as the Knight of Wands pushes forward, right, that there's going to be a time, and I think this is similar to the last reading that you had, where we have to manage our expectations, right? We have to reset what our expectations are for what the situation is, because we're afraid of losing part of that sun, right? As the Knight of Wands pushes this situation, it's going to swing, one way or the other. It's going to swing wildly. There's going to be no real middle ground here, and that's going to cause kind of that frustration and conflict. And like I said, this is our near future. So as this comes to a head, we're going to find ourselves in temperance in the reverse. The lesson that we need, the advice that's coming from the ether, is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords says, have confidence, be brave, and act swiftly and decisively. So just like the King of Wands was very honest, decisive actions, or a very honest and decisive situation, the Knight of Swords, this is our thoughts and our minds now, right? So we've kind of moved away from our passions, and we have to reflect internally, and we have to think about what is going to make us what it's going to be for our best interests. That's what the swords kind of tells me, that we have to be confident in the decisions we make. We have to make brave decisions even when it's not, when things are uncertain. But we also have to be action oriented. So we just can't stay in this kind of muck, this slowdown that we're seeing ourselves in. Yes, it's going to kind of waver back and forth to the different extremes in our immediate future, but the Knight of Swords says, if you are able to make a decisive, a true decision, It's going to nip this in the bud, and it's not going to sway so much. The Knight of Swords is our advice here. Does that make some sense? Yeah, see, and this is why I love the Cross of Truth. It's very detailed. You can glean a lot of information from it, more than your general 3-card, more than your 4-card spread that I like to use. I'd use the 4-card because it's quick if I have like a lot of people in the queue. And it's not as kind of spiritually taxing, because when I do back-to-back readings, it can get heavy. This is a good in-between that I like to use. Do you ever pull clarifiers? Yeah, absolutely. If there's anything that doesn't quite mesh, you can always pull clarifiers. If there's one that you want to pull, you let me know. Well, let's hear. I see sometimes I'll pull, and those. Oh, sometimes I'll pull, and those Celtic crosses are huge, like 2 cards and so. Yes, the Celtic cross, at least for me, was the first spread I learned. I learned the Celtic cross. That was the first one I ever learned. So it has kind of a different kind of connection to me. Because I kind of learned tarot on hard mode, essentially, right? I don't know if that's the same for you, if you learned the Celtic Cross as your first one, but for the longest time, that was the only spread I used. Every question was a Celtic Cross, even when I read for myself. Everything was a Celtic Cross, so I got very good at interpreting the Celtic Cross. But no, I 100% see kind of where you're coming from. But my... like my full readings will be 3 decks, Celtic Cross, clarifiers, 2 advice cards, an ether card, and then like I said, I haven't had any oracle cards, but then I'll pull. That's what my 3rd deck is. Like I'll pull other cards from the deck, and I'll read them intuitively. Based solely on the art, and that's usually this one right here. It's so great for like looking at my self-discovery journey, honestly. Yes, no, 100%. And I mean, I think part of it too is, people go back and forth with like, oh, like you shouldn't read for yourself or whatever. Like, I say, read for yourself, go for it 100%. Just know that you may not be getting the true like reading, right? Because you are going to be kind of infusing your own desires into the reading, into the cards. So it may not be 100%, but it's great to get some insight. And if you can temper your own personal desires, then that's also good energy, good practice to controlling your energy when you're reading for others. Generally, I love reading the past, present, future on myself, or like those 3-card spreads for myself. But anything else, like romance and careers, I feel like it might from a state of anxiousness. No, and it comes from practice. Like that's the thing. I think you mentioned that you have a which deck was it? The Light Seekers, right? Light seers. That's right. So if that deck resonates with you, right, and it sounds like it does because you've been holding on to it for a while. You don't want to kind of move away from it. You know, if that's the one that resonates with you, you know, hold on to it, keep at it with that particular deck, form that bond, because the more you understand each other, the easier the readings become. Have you slept with the deck under your pillow? So, like physically or like energy wise? Because if it's physically, keep them in the box and then just keep them under your pillow. Physically, but I don't think I have energy wise either. Okay. So, what I always do whenever I get a new deck of cards, I'll cleanse them with crystals and incense just to, you know, if they came from a store or whatever, people are kind of looking at them, touching the box, whatever. So I'll cleanse them with incense and crystals, and then that night I will put it under my pillow. That way, my kind of dream energy can connect with the cards, and if they have anything they want to tell me, it becomes a little bit easier because, you know, in your dreams and in your sleep, you're kind of maybe not, yeah, I guess your mental defenses break down a little bit, right? They're lower, so it makes that message easier to get through. I've actually did something similar like that, but more like sleeping with the deck just near. Okay, no, that works too. And just be open to the message that it's trying to tell you, and that's the for me at least, that's kind of the heart and soul of tarot, right? Like, I am reading the cards. Like, I'm not telling you what you need to do. I'm interpreting what the cards are saying. So I'm just a messenger, right? I actually did a simple pull for my connection with BR, and if you don't mind helping out, yeah, absolutely. Let me clear these up first. It's a generic 3-card pull with the Emperor, Temperance, and the Empress. Three major arcana? Okay. Do you read reversals or no? All three were upright. Okay. What we're saying here is the Empress. And in that order, right? Temperance, the Emperor. All right, so we're doing a general 3-card spread. 3 major arcanas came up, and this was regarding, let me read the chat here again. Your connection with BR, okay. So we had the Emperor, and then Temperance, and the Empress. Huh. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna say is, I don't remember exactly what the question is, but it was most likely related to our situation. Okay. You did pull clarifiers. Yeah, it's a pretty powerful set of cards here. All major arcana, 2 rulers, and then temperance right there in the middle. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so just off the bat, right, without taking into consideration the kind of spread that you're intending to use, right? When I see this come out, my immediate thought is we have a duality, right? We have the Emperor on one side, which is a card of, again, bold action, of authority. He is a ruler, right? He is the Emperor. And then on the other side, we have the Empress, which is the flip side of that coin of the ruler, right? And the Empress is that card of nurturing, of fertility, of motherhood. So in a sense, we have, maybe not literally, but we have like mom and dad, right? We have two sides of the same coin, two different energies, but still very powerful in their own right. And then in the middle, we have temperance, right smack dab in the middle. And temperance means right smack dab in the middle. It's that middle path, it's patience, it's finding kind of meaning. Temperance to me is the bridge between these two personalities, right? I couldn't help but wonder if it was pointing out our personalities. So like two people in temperance in the middle could be seen as like that present moment. Yes. So yeah, so just looking at how this spread came out, right? I'm seeing the two energies, the two different personalities, and since we're reading for the two of you, that's immediately where my intuition takes me. We have the power of the Emperor and we have the power of the Empress. Two, like I said, two powerful energies. They have their own desires, right? They have their own things that they want to manifest. The bridge between them is temperance, which is that middle path. And the hard part about this reading is that temperance requires both parties, right? So, for example, the Empress could, what's the word I'm looking for? Not submit, but she could concede, right? And say, okay, you know what? Maybe 80% of what I want. I'm okay with settling for 80%. But if the Emperor doesn't also concede, that temperance is useless, right? They have to find a middle ground together. So I think that's immediately kind of where my intuition for this reading comes from, is that there is a disconnect between these two parties, and we have to find what our middle ground is. And both people have to come to that agreement. Now, I'm going to hijack the reading a little bit because I do want to know and that's why I pushed again for speaking my mind. And that's well and good. I'm not going to stop you from doing that because that's absolutely your prerogative. But we have to find a way so that he can hit that middle ground too, right? You have to come to a consensus, an agreement. Eight of Swords. So we had in our future, for the last reading, we had the Nine of Swords in the reverse, which was kind of that relief and recovery. And now we are talking about the Eight of Swords in this situation. Very interesting. Okay. The Eight of Swords in the reverse for this, I'm clarifying temperance, represents new perspective and maybe the word, what's the word I'm looking for? And freedom, right? I'm trying really hard not to conflate the other readings with each other because this one's very much in the past. This is an older reading that you did, so I don't want to attribute it to the new readings that we just had, right? But the Eight of Swords clarifying temperance means a new perspective. He has it in his head. I'm pointing to the Emperor. It could be reversed, but he has it in his head that there's only one way that this can go, right? And I think somewhere deep inside, you have a idea of the way that you want it to go, right? The Eight of Swords represents... Oh yeah, that's exactly how the first conversation went. Oh. The Eight of Swords represents kind of that new perspective, right? So that all, see, and this is why I don't want to conflate it with the other reading that we did, but when I talked about resetting expectations, that's what the Eight of Swords also reminds us, right? It reminds us that new perspective, finding that new way forward that is mutually beneficial to both parties. That's how this is supposed to go. So again, I didn't mean to hijack the older reading with a different clarifier. I don't know what clarifiers you pulled, but that's how I would interpret this reading. But you do, so it did play out exactly as you mentioned. Oh, as I mentioned. Okay, so it means I'm on the right track, thankfully. But yeah. But ultimately, like, my advice is you're gonna have to find that middle ground. And moving, fast forwarding to our the last reading that we had, it's still reminding you to reset those expectations as to what we want to come out of this situation. Oh no! There we go. Surprisingly, he saw things with a one-track mind, and obviously finding that middle ground took some time, and he's gained more perspective and new views on our situation. Oh, good. So, yeah, that temperance new perspective card, it sounds like it's on the right track. And the advice still holds true in that you just have to keep hounding that, right? That new perspective. Oh, excuse me, I have hiccups. Oh dear. Still push towards finding that middle ground and resetting those expectations. Especially with that sun, right? That's what we're afraid of losing that sun. And it's okay to kind of lose the situation that you have now, because through the sunset comes a new sunrise. That's the thing that you have to remember. It's not the same day. It's not the same time period. The sun has set on that day, on that situation, but a new one will arise. I think that's the important thing that you have to kind of put in both your heads, is that this situation, it's going to evolve, and staying stagnant isn't helping anyone. Like, the sun is going to rise and fall regardless if you want it to. You might as well go along for the trip, right? Actually, that's a really good point. I might bring that up with him next time. After all, it's better to move than to... Yes, exactly. And it seems like, kind of where we are right now, based on the readings that we had, that, the Eight of Wands, which showed up twice. Showed up twice in your reading. So that's very much a huge factor in your relationship right now, is that there's just a lot of stagnation. And you have to get over it. And like the card said, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be some hesitation and fear, but the end result is going to be kind of moving forward and healing, right? So it's all good things. All good things. All right, so we are coming up on about the halfway mark for my stream. And, oh, hold on one second. Actually, I bring you updates soon. I gotta head off soon, back to work. Okay, no, absolutely. Best of luck for everything, okay? Thanks for stopping by. Please, come back and update me. I'm a little excited. But what was I saying? Oh, yes. We're coming up to the halfway point of the stream. If there's any more readings that anyone wants, I'm going to keep it open for a little bit longer. And then I'm going to take a short break, and then we're going to switch to gameplay. On the first of the month, I usually like to play Timberborn, which is a city builder for beavers. So if that's interesting to you, stick around. And then I'm going to try to sandwich in some readings at the end of the stream as well, just for you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and keep the queue open a little bit longer. Oh, Leo, thank you. Yes, I will hydrate. I don't know if you can hear that. There's my water. Because it is hot. I'm sweating right now. Oh, and that reminds me, hold on. Let's do... I don't know why this doesn't do it automatically. I have to fix my bot. Oh no, how come that didn't work?
Kaizen, and it makes me feel powerful.
That's awesome. I need to start. Sorry. I was gonna say I need to start exercising.
I give him a shout out. Everyone check out Liu. Super fun times. We did a collab a couple days ago. I am going to get my revenge, and I'm going to be ranked top 10 in, what was it, crap game? I already forgot. Hold on, I already have hold on. Oh man, it didn't cover me up. Shoot, that's not gonna work. Hold on. I'm still figuring out the transitions, okay? I'm still trying to figure this out. I told you. This is my villain arc. I'm tired of being pushed around in games. Okay? I'm a super nice guy whenever I do tarot, but when it comes to games, I'm not messing around anymore. There we go. I also don't know if anyone actually wants a reading from me in this form, but I got it. But like I said, this is my villain arc. This is it. There it is. I also realized, hold on. I also realized I have a really hard time being a bad guy. Like I'm just naturally nice, especially on stream, so I can't be evil. I don't know why I commissioned Evil Soren, because I just can't be mean. I can't. But I feel like when I am Evil Soren, I can let loose a little bit. So I think I'm gonna use him for my gameplays. All right, back to normal. All right, so like I said, we are right up on time. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over. I'm gonna close up the queue, and I'm probably gonna open it up again later tonight, just to get a few more readings in if anyone wants them. I'm going to switch over to Timberborn. So again, if that is your cup of tea, if you want to see some city builders with some beavers, stick around. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back.
Swissracon just followed. Clownifornian just followed.